So now you're going to multiply the tops and multiply the bottoms. So negative 20 times 5 is negative 100. 1 times negative 4 is negative 4. And then you have to divide those numbers. Can you tell me what the result would be?
25.
25. You're allowed to use a calculator if you need to. Go ahead and get this down. I'll give you one like this to try.
Okay.
All right, so let's have you try this one. It's exactly the same steps, just different numbers. Give that a try, please.
X would equal 45.
Any questions on that before we move on to a new problem?
No.
Okay. All right. Okay, so we have x divided by 4 equals 24 over 32. All right, so the best way to solve this, to keep it super simple, is to diagonally multiply. There are other ways, but this is probably the best way. So you're going to take that 32 and multiply it by x, and 4 times the 24. Now on the left, it's just 32x. On the right, if you need to, grab a calculator, but can you tell me what 4 times 24 is?
96.
It is 96. And then what do you divide by to solve for x?
Divide both sides by 32.
Okay.
And it would be 3.
X equals 3. Good. Yeah. Any questions on that before I give you one to try?
No.
Okay. Go ahead and try solving that one. It's very similar to the last one we did.
X would equal 4.
Very good. Okay, now there's more difficult problems in this I can give you, but do you feel like that is sufficient for what you want to learn from this?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we'll move on to 23. 160 trains is what percent of 1870 trains? It's when it says percent of, there's two numbers. There's the top number and the bottom number. This is the top, this is the bottom. Okay. And then you could just grab a calculator and whatever number you get here, you're going to get some sort of a number, decimal. You have to multiply by 100, get the percent. So I'm assuming you're allowed to do this with a calculator.
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't you divide?
I got 1,168.75.
You put this in the wrong order. You put the top, then bottom. Top divided by bottom.
I got 8.5.
Okay, and that's after multiplying by 100.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have 0.085. And then make sure you put a percent there. That's very, very, very important. Okay, so here's a similar problem. It's more direct for you to try. You want to try that one for me, please?
I got 40%.
All right, good. Do you feel like you got that down?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay. We're going to do 25 first and then go back to 24. 25 is easier than 24. Don't know why they didn't do it in that order. The instructions say to find the x-intercepts and the y-intercepts. So if you recall, we're basically making a table here. Okay. X is 0. So you're putting 0 in for x. 2 times 0 plus y equals -8. What does that become for y?
2 times 0,
Yep. What is 2 times 0?
0.
Okay. So what is y equal?
0.
Well, it's 0 plus y. What is 0 plus y?
Oh, this y.
Just y. So what does y equal?
0. Oh,
These numbers just come down.
okay.
Okay. So now you do the same thing, but you put 0 in for y. What is 2x plus 0? Like when you add by 0, does it change anything?
No.
No. So it goes back to what it was. How do you undo the 2 in front of the x?
Divide both sides by 2.
Good. Hang on just a second. Okay. Sorry. So it's -4, not -8. Okay. So let me give you another one like this because this table thing could help, but you are right. You are solving two equations.
Okay,
Let me know when you get this down. That way,
I got it.
okay. So let's go x plus 3y equals -9. So it's kind of two things. You're putting 0 in for X, 0 in for Y, and solving for the other letter. So it's slightly different than the previous one, but give that a try, please. How are you doing on this first one?
Oh, why? I got the answer for y. It would be 3.
Okay, but you're dividing by 3 on both sides, is that right?
Yeah.
So what about, I agree that 9 divided by 3 is 3, but what about this symbol in front?
Oh, -3.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the difference between, sometimes passing a course or not is just, little stuff like that. Now do the same thing to solve for X, please.
Wouldn't it be 0?
You're putting 0 in for Y, correct? In the second one, so
Mhm.
X plus 3 times 0 equals -9.
Yes.
And what is 3 times 0?
0.
Okay, so what happens when you add 0 to X?
Would it be
Does it
1?
does it change it? I
No.
mean, X represents anything you want, how many dogs you have, and then you add 0 dogs, so you still have X. And then this number on the right doesn't change. Okay, let's try one more of these. That's okay,
Okay.
before we move on to the other ones. Let's say it's a minus 2x plus y equals -8. Again, we're just putting 0 in for X, 0 in for Y, coming up with the other value. So give that a try, please.
So x would equal 4 and y would equal -8.
Very good. Excellent. All right. So I feel like you understand that based on doing that one. You did that really fast as well. So let's get back to doing, and this is the last one that I have a picture of. So if you want to send over another one after this, but we're going to do 24 next. And then we'll move on to something else that you send. But here you go, number 24. Same thing here. Would make a table. Table's really clear.
X would equal 4.
Okay, so when you're putting 0 in for y, you're doing the second one or the first one?
The first one.
Okay, that means you're putting 0 in for x.
Mhm.
So what is -2 times 0?
0
And 0 plus 4y, what does that become?
equals 4.
4y. And then you bring the 4 down.
And then you
So
divide.
yes. So what does y become?
So y equals 1.
Okay. Okay, so do the same thing to solve for x, putting in now 0 in for y. So you're putting 0 in for y in this table here.
Um, X would equal 4.
So did you write -2x plus 4 times 0 equals 4?
Yes.
Okay, what is 4 times 0?
0.
Okay, what is -2x plus 0?
-2.
-2x. You're adding nothing to it, like it keeps staying the same. So what do you divide the x by to get rid of the -2?
Divided by 2.
You divide by the number that's in front of x. What is the entire number that's in front of x?
-2x.
Just the number. What is the number, just the number that's in front of x, including the sign?
-2.
Yes, you divide both sides by -2. So x equals -2. Okay, so we should do another one of these. I still don't sense that it's clear, like the way the table is drawn. The first time you're putting 0 in for x, second time you're putting 0 in for y. So let me know when you get this down. We'll do one more.
I got it.
Okay, let's go -5x plus 2y equals -10. So give that a try, please.
So x would equal -2 and y would equal -5.
Very good. All right, so whenever you're ready, if you want to send over another picture, we'll keep working on this. All right, got it. It's uploading now. How many total pages is the review? Or how many
Um,
problems?
48 problems.
How many?
48 in total.
48. Okay, cool. All right. It looks like okay, did you send 2 pages?
Mm,
'Cause I
No.
got the next problem I see was would have been 25, and it looks like you skipped all the way to 30. Is that where you want us to start?
The next page is just graphing equations.
Okay, and you feel like you have that down?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, so let's take a look at number 30 here. It says solve by the substitution method. Do you know what is meant by the substitution method?
Um, no.
Okay, so we're going to solve the first equation. We're going to solve for x. You have to solve for a variable. Excuse me. So this becomes, or we're going to solve for x. So how do you undo subtraction by 5y?
Adding 5y to both
Adding
sides.
adding 5y to both sides. Good. Now I kind of have a tiny preference for putting the variable first, but it really doesn't matter ultimately. It's whatever you're comfortable with. Okay. So now in the other equation here, in the other equation here, we're gonna treat that x like it's in parentheses. And this is gonna go in for x. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. So this is -4 parentheses -28 plus 5y minus 6y equals -44.
Oh,
So just really take a look at that because this is the key part of substitution here. You're literally substituting in.
okay.
So now you have to distribute that -4 to the -28 and the +5. What does that become? What is -4 times -28 and -4 times the 5y?
So it would be 112 plus 20. Why?
But it's negative here.
Negative
Negative times a negative makes the positive. Negative times the positive makes,
a negative.
so -20y minus 6y equals -44. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. What does -20y minus 6y become?
14y.
They're both negative, so it's definitely negative, but then you add the numbers without the sign.
So it would be 14y.
Nope. The answer is negative. It's absolutely negative, but then it's like you owe someone $20 and then you owe them $6, so you keep owing them. So yeah, it's negative, but you owe them more. That's why you add the numbers.
26y.
-26y. Okay. Now, is this 112? Is it positive or negative?
Positive
It's positive. It's not written, but it's positive. How do you undo a positive number? How do you undo addition?
by subtracting it.
You're going to subtract 112 from both sides. Okay, now on the right here, they're both negative. Again, if you need to grab a calculator, like this is not what they're testing, so don't make the mistake of thinking, okay, I got to do everything by hand. But the answer is negative, but then you add the numbers without the signs.
So 156.
-156.
Okay.
So now what do you divide both sides by?
Negative 26.
Okay, so go ahead and reduce that for me.
It would be 6.
Okay, now we're not done. We've only got one half of the answers. Like it feels like you're done. It feels like I did so much stuff here. Um, but it's actually not, you're not done. So um, the next thing um, is to find x or calculate x. So x is -28 plus 5y. Y is 6. So you're putting that 6 in for y. So x equals -28 plus 5 times 6. So could you reduce that for us, please?
6 times 5.
Exactly what's written there. You got -28 plus 5 times 6. Order of operations, you multiply before you add.
So x would equal 2.
Yes. And you have to present your answer that way, 2 comma 6. Okay, let's look at a slightly easier problem. I'm not sure that that fully computed with you. And why would it? I mean, it's the first time you're seeing this. Maybe you're, unfamiliar with it. We want to again solve by substitution. Okay,
Mhm.
so this y is already solved for. So in the first equation, you have 2x minus 3 parentheses y equals -1. This x minus 1 is going in for the y. So this is 2x minus 3, x minus 1 equals -1.
Okay.
So from here, you're distributing in that's -3 to both. Can you tell me what that becomes when you distribute in the -3 to both? There's really a
So
1x there.
-3x plus 3.
Good. Okay, now you've got to be able to combine like terms. What is 2x minus 3x?
-1x.
Good. So now how do you undo addition by 3?
Subtract it.
Okay, what does the right side become? What is -1 minus 3?
4.
Try again. -1 minus 3. You said 4. This is what you said.
-4.
Yes. Big difference. It may not seem like it, but it really is. Like it's the wrong side of the street. It's the difference between owing somebody and having something. Big difference. Now you divide both sides by -1. What does x become?
Um, +4.
All right, great. Now that's only half the answer though. X is 4. Y is x minus 1. You're putting 4 in for x.
So it would
So what
be
does,
3.
okay, and then you list your answer as an ordered pair. What is the ordered pair?
4 comma 1.
What's the y value?
I mean 3.
3.
Sorry.
Okay. So this one is really, really similar. Solved exactly the same way. Go ahead and give this a try and let me know what you come up with for solving for, you're going to solve for x first this time, but just like you did in the previous problem.
Um, I'm not sure how to set this up.
Okay, what did we do in the previous problem? What did we do here? You see how one equation is already solved for y?
Yeah.
And then in the other equation, I rewrote it, but put it in parentheses and then substituted in.
Mhm.
In your problem, is an equation already solved for y?
Yes.
Yes. I sense a little hesitation, but yeah, it's already solved for y. Can we write the variable in parentheses in the other equation? Sure. That's going in for y. Do you remember us doing this in the last problem?
Yes. So it'll
Okay.
be negative 2x minus 3y
Well, you're
parentheses. Yeah.
so instead of y, you're replacing y. You're replacing y.
Mhm.
So no more y. Y is gone. It vanished. So now you have to distribute like we did in the previous problem. You multiply both by the -3.
Oh,
So tell me what that becomes.
so negative 18x
Okay.
minus 33
But
equals
why, so why did it become -18?
because of the negative 3.
Okay. And a
Also,
+6.
it would be plus 33.
Yes. It's just little stuff like that that, really make the difference. So if you have time, definitely rework these problems, especially with the ones where there's signs like this. Okay. -2x minus 18x, what does that become?
Negative 19? No, 20.
-20x plus 33 equals -7. How do you undo plus 33?
Minus 33 to both sides.
Yeah. -20x equals, what is -7 minus 33?
Negative 40.
Okay. So what do you divide both sides by now?
Negative 20.
Okay. So what does x equal?
Um, negative 2.
Nope. Try again. They're both negative.
Oh, po-
Negatives.
positive 2.
Yeah. So this becomes y equals 6x minus 11. X is 2. What does this reduce to?
It would be 1.
It's very good. So you write your answer as x comma y, 2 comma 1. Okay, we're going to stop there for the first hour and we're going to take a 10-minute break.